Delaware is a state blessed with some of the most beautiful natural areas anywhere. Our next guest has spent a lot of time helping to keep them as they are and teaching people to enjoy them and preserve them. He's spent over 20 years in the State Fish and Game Division and is currently Executive Director of the Delaware Nature Education Society, direct from the jungles of the Ashland Nature Center. Please meet Norm Wilder. Hello, Norm. How are you?
I'm getting out of my me-sing mask, you know. The Indians had a truant officer. If the kids didn't behave themselves, the me-sing came and straightened them out.
I may need you Monday.
Yeah, all right. So if you need a me-sing, you know, this is the way it does.
Judge, that's an idea. We could use him in family court.
Monday morning.
Monday morning. All right, fine. Let me out of the bear robe.
Okay. That's a little warm for this climb, even at this time of year.
Yes.
Norm, who, what, and why is the Delaware Nature Education Society?
Well, about 18 years ago, late George Sargison and a good many prominent Delawareans took a look around and thought with their suburbanization and urbanization, people were pretty well moving away from the nature, and there ought to be some place where it's all put back together again. So they founded this society, and we've been at Brandywine Creek State Park for a while now. We're at the Ashland Nature Center with a branch down in Milford, incidentally.
Oh, that's good to know. Now, I understand you brought along a few friends to help us out in teaching us the lessons that Ashland Nature Center is trying to put forward.
I think so. Let's see where they are.
Right behind us is oh, yes.
Oh, yeah, great.
If they've moved, I think we want to know about that.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, being we're interested in all kinds of things relating to nature at the center, whether it be concerned with air or water or land use or geology or archaeology. But one thing about wildlife is that when a class comes out of 30 strong, comes out of the city where they're coming, and all the noises that go with them, we can't guarantee that they're going to see wildlife on the spot. So we use mounted animals and skins, and lately we've got a hold of these puppets, and I think they're pretty really cute. Wonderful. And this is Ringo the raccoon. And one of my favorites, that really a neat one, if I can get my hand in here, is this nice old tortoise or turtle. And he can talk and carry on, but if he wants to go home for the night, it calls down. He just he's in there.
Well, Norm, we don't get many turtles on our show.
No, you don't, and you know why? These have a strong union, and the rates are high. They have to.
Well, so these little folks here play a very important part of the Delaware Nature Education Society.
Well, I think so. We use them occasionally as teaching tools, and once in a while we can do a little story based upon the animal to teach some ecological concept, and the kids love them. Incidentally, we have about as much activity for adults as we do young, but the young ones are far more interesting to be with, I think, most of the time. So this little Ringo, one part of his story is that he comes up and finds a little Thistle the rabbit, and he says to Thistle, he's panting and crying, and he said, the Thistle says, "What's the matter, Ringo?" And he said, "Well, something happened to my house." He said, "I had a nice hollow tree on the edge of the woods, and somebody came and cut it down, and I don't have any den anymore." And he sobs, and Thistle said, "Well, you can live with me in the field." Well, he tries, but when they find out that the Thistle the rabbit eats clover and alfalfa and all that, and the raccoon tries it, he just can't do that. He's looking for crayfish and eggs or whatever. So he finally has to get back and find another hole in the tree back there. But they make good props for the youngsters.
You brought another critter along too, Norm, is that correct? I see him over there.
Got all kinds of things here, and this was lonely. This isn't cruel. This is the way the animal prefers to be picked up. He doesn't like to be picked up like a cat or a dog. Really? But it's one of the things we do is to acquaint young people with farm animals and domestic animals as well as wild. So this spring we'll have a month where the kids will come out by the busload, and they'll find out about the pigs and cows and domestic rabbits and bulls and the whole works. We have them all there. And they'll find out that it takes good farming to produce these things, and they're all tied back to the soil. And when the kids see the pigs, the question is, they say, what does this pig produce. What do these pigs produce? Incidentally, one of the pigs is named Norman. But anyway, the kids invariably say ham and eggs. They get half right. They get ham and eggs. That's what they think about this.
You know, I know you're involved with natural areas preservation. What is the DNES doing along those lines?
Well, we've taken a hard look with a lot of experts to help us at natural areas all over Delaware. And these are the last of the strongholds for endangered species and rare plants and things unusual geology, unusual archaeological sites were the best. And we've defined them and found out who owned them. And we've set up a program to work with whoever the owner is. Sometimes it's the government, sometimes the city of Wilmington, to get these special attention to these areas, to handle them a little different so they don't become part of a highway system or a baseball field or something. Set these aside for posterity. And the state of Delaware has a special office of nature preserves, and we work with them. There's about 100 we know of, and we lose one once in a while, but it's encouraging that a good many of them are still going to be there another 100 years from now, we think.
Well, good. I hope so. What kind of activities do you have coming up?
Well, the things that will be different, you know, we do the same things because
you have seasonal events, of course.
Seasonal events for all the school children, almost all Newcastle County school children come out to see us, about 17,000 strong. And I mentioned the fact that we had the domestic animal show, and that'll be done again this spring. That was the most popular single thing that we've done. But this winter, which is normally a little rough time to get outdoors, we have got a collection of wild animals that will take us into the schools. And we'll do auditorium, you know, assembly programs and classroom programs with live deer and a live skunk, and a talking crow, a raccoon, and probably a rabbit or so. It may not be a real wild one, but it'll look like one. And these will, we know these will be very, very well received. Kids love to have animals. And it's a great way to sell a point. So the object is not necessarily just to see them, but to relate these animals to their habitats and what it takes for these animals to make it.
Well, the Ashland Nature Center is a great resource of the state of Delaware, and I'm glad so many people are taking advantage of it. And for you viewers who don't know about it, please take advantage and get out to the Ashland Center, the Delaware Nature Education Society. Thanks for coming on our show, Norm.
Well, great, and we have a new covered bridge going in down there, so you can get back and the detour's over.
Oh, good.
Come out and see us. Give us a call. We're in the phone book.
I want to tell our viewers now about some special events coming up. Now, we have a comedy night being sponsored by the Otis Coda Shalemeth congregation. Two comedians, Dennis Wolfberg and Ben Kurland, will be featured at the synagogue, Otis Coda Shalemeth, on Sunday at 7 o'clock p.m., Washington Boulevard and Towa Drive in Wilmington. Both have national reputations, have appeared on TV and radio and done the biggest clubs in the area. And you'll enjoy going. That'll be cabaret style. It'll be a cash bar, free snacks. Admission is $6 for adults and $3 for children under 12 years of age. And if you want to make reservations or if you'd like additional information, call 762-2705. The number again, 762-2705. Now, the University Theater of the University of Delaware is sponsoring a Costumes on Parade. Now, what's that? Well, it's a special benefit performance for the Theater Scholarship Fund, featuring modeled costume creations and entertainment from leading performing arts companies of the Delaware Valley. Costumes on Parade will be hosted by Ray Murray of evening magazine KYW-TV in Philadelphia. When is it? Well, it's Saturday, December 11, 1982 at 8:15 p.m. Where? Mitchell Hall, University of Delaware. Ticket prices are $4 general admission and $2 for students and for senior citizens. For more information, you can call 738-2204. That number again, 738-2204. And real quickly, let me tell you, Steve Turnberger, our sports director at Rollins Cablevision, has told me I should inform you about the high school football state championship. It'll be same-day full-game coverage, a delayed replay on this Saturday at 8 o'clock p.m. on Channel 2. Archmere 11-0 versus Seaford 10-1. And again, it'll be a replay on Monday at 6:30 p.m. I think you'll enjoy that, as I do. And now, after the show, I want you to stay tuned for this week's edition of the Tally Ho Rock Concert. Next week's show is going to feature the heroes of the state of Delaware, 11-year-old world archery champion, Miss Delaware USA, and Hammering Hank Milligan, the third-ranked amateur heavyweight boxer in the United States, along with a rhythm and blues group. That's a real good lineup. I think you'll enjoy it. Wingwa Restaurant will be featured on Restaurant Corner too. That's it for tonight. I want to thank our guests, Mayor, Judge Poverty, Sally Hawkins, Norm Wilder, and Sam, who had to leave us. We'll see you.